One of the most successful business consultants in the world is now in Moscow. The author of Mastering Rockefeller Habits bestseller has come here to share his wisdom. Primetime's Lindsay France caught up with him. Lucky girl. First time in Moscow.
It is.
What do you think of the city so far?
As you know, to survive here, you've got to be energetic and creative and a little crazy.
Yeah,
and
I
so
would say so.
You do, and so you see and feel that energy with the entrepreneurs I've met here.
One of the things that stood out is that you are an expat yourself.
Yes.
You do not live in the United States, you live in Spain, in Barcelona.
Kind of Barcelona to Russia, those couple of hours make it easy for you to do business east of here. You know, you're only an hour and a half from India, what are you, 5 or 6 hours, you know, from China.
How important is it, do you think, for business people to get out of their comfort zones and get into new cultures, new ways of life, new cities?
Well, it's the future. I mean, we're going to increase the global market by 77% in just 10 years. It took 200 years to achieve that before. And again, it's all east of here. And I think the model for us is the German Mittelstand companies. These are what are called hidden champions. They're firms, as you may or may not know, Germany's been the leading exporter in the world, beating China, Japan, United States, all the much bigger countries. Only China just beat them by a little bit this year, but they got 1 billion people versus 80 million. And the key is that these mid-sized companies, on average, are in 41 different countries. The reality of business in the next 10 years is you can't hide and just protect a local little market in Seattle or Ashburn, Virginia. And so your main competitor right now is likely 12 time zones away from you. And if you don't get in their market, they're going to be in your market. And so ever more it's important that we get international, which is a huge problem in the United States, which is why I wanted to get my kids out of there and get them in some other cultures. And literally I was talking to a couple of expats down in Barcelona, and they said, and I think they're right, at least for your children, you could add a 0 to the end of their compensation in the future for every additional language that they know and culture that they can understand.
I know that when a lot of expats come here to do business, they're shocked that it takes so very much to sometimes seemingly do so little.
Yes.
In your growth in an orderly way concept, how would that translate into somewhere like Russia?
Yeah. Well, what I love about that is because there's so much chaos, and by the way, entrepreneurs thrive in chaos. That's their best melting pot. Because so many people don't want to. That gives them kind of the unique opportunity. I see the same thing in Spain. It is so, what I had to go through just to get a visa. It wasn't just Russia. I mean, it took me more hours. That's right. It took me more hours to get my Russian visa than I will have spent in Russia, you know, kind of thing. But I see that as a barrier to entry as well. And what every business owner wants are high barriers of entry. And if you can stomach and make some orderliness out of the chaos, and the chaos shuns everybody else, that's a great marketplace to be in.
Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
You're welcome, Lindsay. You bet.